Good evening. The Board of Trustees of Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District is now convened in the Committee of the Whole meeting on Thursday, August 7th, 2014, in the boardroom of the Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District Instructional Support Center, 10,300 Jones Road, Houston, Texas, at 6 p.m. for the purpose of reviewing that portion of the August 11th, 2014 school board agenda designated as action items and to hear designated reports and recognitions posted in the meeting notice as required by Texas law. No action will be taken at this meeting. I want to welcome the members of our audience and our television viewers to this meeting of the Board of Trustees. As the Cypress-Fairbanks Board of Trustees, we're here to set goals, listen to reports, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on tonight's agenda. Agenda items will not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. The meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. During the course of this meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in closed session to consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by Section 551.071 to 551.084, inclusive of the Texas Government Code. These proceedings are airing live on CFTV, Channel 16, and CFTV online on the district website. They will also be rebroadcast throughout the month on Channel 16 and available as video on demand on the website. For the tape to adequately reflect the proceedings, I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in silent mode. Thank you for taking the time to join us this evening and for your interest in the Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District. Before we get started, we have a couple of housekeeping things. Hey, who did the intro, our new intro? Who's responsible for that? Who? Mitzi. Way to go, Mitzi. Nice job. We still like the one that we were using from 1968, but that one was a little more updated.
There's Mitzi in the...
Oh, good. Way to go, Mitzi. And then we want to recognize our students that are working our cameras tonight. From Cypress Creek, we have Anastasia Gorshunina. From Langham Creek, Mariana Villalobos, and their AVP advisors are Jana Bullock from Cy Creek and Brandy Milson from Langham Creek. So thank you guys for doing this, especially since you're not even in school. The following report will be presented during the regular meeting on Monday, August 11th. The administration will provide an oral report on the 2014 STAR 3 through 8 end of course state accountability ratings and community and student engagement ratings. The board will now review and discuss the following action items. Agenda item 5A, the board will consider awarding bids and contracts and or authorizing purchase orders as recommended in the posted agenda item. There'll be no presentation, but they will take questions if needed. Assorted beverages and food, Berry Center, portable basketball floor, departmental vehicles, excess workers' compensation insurance, Review 360 maintenance and support renewal, school buses. Any question from board members on those? Tom?
I do have one question, and I would like to say thank you to Dan McElduff, who gave a very detailed answer to questions that I asked offline. A question I have, I guess, for you, Matt, as it relates to school buses, this is a large ticket item, and I have two questions. So I'll ask both of them one after another and let you answer them however you see fit. I know that several years ago we started retrofitting our buses to make them air conditioned, and certainly this week we've seen enough days with 100+ heat index to warrant our doing that from a safety perspective. So the question is, for these new buses, will we have to retrofit them, or did we bid them with air conditioning? The second question is, I noticed that we are diversifying the fleet and the types of buses that we have. A great case study, but also real-life example, involved Braniff and Southwest Airlines, where Southwest had just one plane, and they had the lowest maintenance cost of any airline. They still enjoy the low maintenance cost because of that philosophy. So my question to you is, are we falling into the Braniff trap of having too many different airplanes, so to speak, or is there a reason why we're really following the philosophical approach of Southwest? So those are the two questions. Handle them however you see fit.
Okay. The buses that we're purchasing this time are specified with air conditioning, and really the air conditioning that we've specified is much superior to what we went and retrofitted the older buses with. We were able to specify in-dash air conditioning, mid-air conditioning, rear, also mixed air defrost, so we feel really good about that. So we are getting buses with air conditioning. In regards to the Braniff versus Southwest model, we are diversifying the fleet. We've recommended Bluebird and Thomas. When you look at the three major manufacturers of buses, International, Bluebird, Thomas, the significant differences are primarily cosmetic, or how the body is put together. The drivetrain is pretty much the same. We specified a Cummins diesel engine, and we specified a specific transmission. All three manufacturers produce a bus with that transmission and engine, so that's what we'll be getting. If you look at the majority of our repairs, are going to be on the engine. They're going to be oil changes, brake jobs, tires, which don't require any specific training for a manufacturer. All of our diesel mechanics are certified in general diesel engine repair, so we don't feel that we're going to increase our maintenance costs or reduce our efficiency, but we do feel that diversifying the fleet kind of protects us from warranty issues specific to a particular manufacturer.
Thank you for that answer. I also applaud you because by diversification among different manufacturers, you're also reducing your overall risk without sacrificing the maintenance cost.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
I should note that items 7, the smart board, stands, mounts, and installation, has been removed from the agenda. Before we go on, we have a scout in the audience. Are you here to get a badge, or did you lose a bet? Awesome. Thank you for coming tonight.
Good job. Awesome.
Agenda item 5B. The board will consider approving on second reading additions, revisions, or deletions to district policies, CCA local revenue source bond issues, DBE local employment requirements and restrictions, DC local employment practices, DH local employee standards of conduct, DK local assignment and schedules, EHDC local alternative methods for earning credit by examination without prior instructions. Any questions from board members? Agenda item 5C, the board will consider approving the tax refunds of $500 or greater for Cypress-Fairbanks ISD. Questions? 5D, the board will consider approving the minutes of the June 26, 2014 regular meeting. Questions? We'll go on to the non-consent items now. 6A, the board will consider approving on first reading additions, revisions, or deletions to district policies, CK local safety program risk management revised, FFH local student welfare freedom from discrimination, harassment, and retaliation revised, FNCD local student conduct, tobacco use, and possession revised. Questions from board members? I'd like to move that to consent. Agenda item 6B, the board will consider approving board members to serve as a delegate and alternate delegate to the 2014 Texas Association of School Boards TASB Annual Delegate Assembly. We really don't have a presentation, we'll have an explanation. Mr. Covey took another spot within TASB, pretty much moved on up the ladder, is dominating the place. We appreciate that, Bob. So tonight John was our alternate delegate previously, and he had mentioned that he would like to step up into the role of delegate. Does anybody else want to step up into that role of delegate?
No, I'm fine with, go ahead. I thought you were going to say alternate. So.
Nope. I was just going to say I'd be glad to be alternate, but if Christine would like to be it too, that's great. Either
No, I
one.
was going
Let's-
too fast.
Well, a lot of times we've done this in the past, and we'll have a cat fight right out front. You two. It's awesome. It's awesome. Lida dominated those.
The loser has to take the spot.
Loser has to take the spot.
I was going to say, no mother.
Who wants to do it?
No, I'd like to, as a member of the Legislative Advisory
Okay, then
Council,
Christine, so on Monday, we will vote on John as the
Delegate.
delegate and Christine as the alternate, unless anybody else wants to
Wrestle.
jump in and put their
Wrestle.
name in the hat and wrestle. Okay, agenda item 6C, the board will consider the endorsement of candidacy for Stephen Dennis, Channelview ISD, Paige Rander, Clear Creek ISD, Stephen Smith, Klein ISD, or Ann Williams, Alief ISD, on the TASB Board of Directors for position 4B. Bob, do we just have to pick one of these people?
That's what I understand, but I will also tell you, and I double-checked with him, Charles Cunningham, who's with Humble ISD and is president of the Gulf Coast area, also his name was in the running too. And I'd seen that from the Gulf Coast printout, but I don't see it on our list here. So and maybe I don't understand exactly how they do this. Do they submit the name to us individually, or did the Gulf Coast submit it to us?
No, in our packet, it was from, like, H.D. Chambers and Alief sent it for Ann
Okay.
Williams,
He's in
and
it.
each superintendent.
He's
You
on
get
page
it from the individual
128.
districts.
Yeah, so we get it from the individual district, so that dude's in it?
He's on there?
Yeah, he's already in then.
Okay, all right,
On for nominations, yes.
okay.
I'm sorry, just ask.
No, go ahead.
Should he be one of the
No.
ones not, he's already on?
He's already on, and his name isn't on this list.
No, I mean, okay. No,
He's a-
I'm just
he
saying,
should be a
says
nominee.
Board of Directors nominations. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
he
if I
should
didn't
be part of
clarify.
this
group.
He is on this list, he's just not highlighted. So,
So
All
he
right.
needs to be added there.
But he needs to be added.
Yeah, we'll add.
Charles
we'll add him on
Cunningham
there.
needs to be added,
okay.
and he's with Humble.
And I worked with Charles a very long time at An Hoc with all the chambers and stuff. He was very active. He's a great guy. So if he needs to be on that list, I really would like to see his name there.
We'll add him on there.
So
Y'all want to talk about these people real quick, so we don't,
I just want to add, from a point of clarification standpoint, the board's action next week specifically is to endorse one of these candidates. Is that correct?
correct.
Thank you.
If in fact they get 50% of I'm sorry, I just jumped in, John. If they get 50% of the school districts in our area, then they're automatically the chosen one. Otherwise, there'll be a vote at TASB.
Okay, okay. John, what do you want to add?
Are we to wait Monday and then?
Yeah, we'll vote on
say
this Monday.
Who we,
We'll vote on this Monday.
Okay.
And then, if some of you have strong feelings about someone, just share it with us at that time.
At that time.
Okay.
Okay.
That'd be fine.
I do,
like to pull this off myself,
You like what?
yeah.
Okay, we won't make it consent because we haven't picked
Maybe.
anybody.
Yeah, it's on the, yeah.
Agenda item 6D, the board will consider approving a resolution to suspend portions of EIE local for the 2014-15 school year only. Any questions from board members? Agenda item 6E, the board, I'm going to put that on, I'd like that to go on consent, please. And you've got C not going, right? Okay, thank you. Agenda item 6E, the board will consider approving an update of the district's hazardous traffic conditions resolution, which, pursuant to TEA requirements for the district to receive supplemental transportation funding, defines hazardous traffic conditions applicable to the district and identifies the specific hazardous areas which exist.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. Any question? Mr. Kobe?
my question is since we're going from the 2 mile to the half mile, does that affect us having to report these hazardous?
Do you mind if Matt answers?
Please.
That?
In order to get funding, we're required to report the hazardous conditions every year. We get 10% of our regularly reported miles, or regular miles, or in reimbursement from the state, but we have to report this every year.
I have a question, too.
Mr. Jackson?
And Matt, this is a detailed question, and if you need to, you can answer it on Monday. The good citizens of Bridgeland disagreed with the district on the definition of hazardous routes in their neighborhood, and I was just curious if traffic conditions have worsened so that we have redefined the hazardous routes over in the Bridgeland area or not.
Mr. Jackson, I want to just clarify what you were saying. Was that, did you hear something from Bridgeland, or were you referring to the Cypress Creek Lakes community that kept coming and speaking?
We did have, well, actually, it's both. You know, both have come before the board to speak.
Okay. I just want to make sure, Matt.
I'm going to have to ask Kim. Or Bill.
Bill Powell. He's going to have to ask someone else.
We did reevaluate Bridgeland last year, and we did add a bus to Pope Elementary, so that was changed. The Cypress Lake subdivision, we did not reclassify because it was still, based on the TEA guidelines and our definitions, it still fell under not being hazardous, so we did not change that.
Thank you.
Blocks from those areas.
You're welcome.
I want to make one comment when everybody's through asking.
Any other questions? Dr. Henry?
Just one quick comment, and I perhaps will need Stuart's help on this, and he doesn't know I'm going to ask him this, but he knows everything financial related. But as you approach the legislature this year, one of the areas that is severely underfunded is transportation. In fact, the reimbursement rates have not changed for nearly 30 years.
They haven't changed since 1984.
30 years.
Yep.
So that's an area that certainly needs to be addressed by the legislature.
I think I know what, John, go ahead. I think I know
Well,
what-
I'm concerned, I remember the night when we had all the parents here and we had maps and pictures and what I'm hearing, I thought we were going to address that situation, and what I'm hearing is that it wasn't considered hazardous, or did we do something to leave the issue there in that community,
Well,
in Cypress Lakes?
yeah, I think the issue has been addressed because we have restored we've reduced the 2-mile limit to, I think for elementary students, it's 1/4 mile. Isn't that correct? I'll let Bill give the exact. I think we have addressed it, though.
We did address that issue. We did add we didn't add any additional services. We were able to utilize existing routes and buses. We worked with Smith, Warner, and Ranch, and the administration allowed us to go ahead and drop students, go through those neighborhoods, pick up some stops, and then take them back to campus. So we were able to come to an agreement and provide that service to them for this past school year. Next year, we will have service to all of those subdivisions based on what has been approved.
Good.
You're right, Dr. O, we did that.
Yes, sorry about that.
No, and looking at where it talks about Warner, and I think what those parents were concerned about was to cross Cypress, North Houston, and they address it, and it's addressed in here. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Great job. Agenda item 6F, the board will consider approving the 2014-2015 Cypress-Fairbanks ISD Student Code of Conduct. Any questions from board members? Hey, I'd like to move E to consent and then F to consent as well. Agenda item 6G, the board will consider approving the memorandum of understanding between Harris County Juvenile Board and the Cypress-Fairbanks ISD to participate in the JJAEP for the 2014-2015 school year. Questions from board members? I'd like to move that to consent. Agenda item 6H, the board will consider approving a dedication of 0.0685 acres of land for a roadway easement to Harris County for expansion of Mayard Road adjacent to Hare Grove Elementary. Do we need to discuss this in closed session? Okay, do any board members have questions? I'd like to move that to consent. Do we have any need for closed session tonight? Okay. The board will have a discussion on the following. Agenda item 7A, the board will discuss the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. This item may be discussed in closed session pursuant to section 551.072. And before we go into closed session, I'd just like to tell everyone the superintendent's briefing portion of the agenda will be presented Monday evening. May I have a motion to go into closed session, please? So moved. Motion, Mr. Covey. May I have a second? Second, Ms. Mangoya. All those in favor, please signify. It's unanimous. We will come back out to be dismissed, but we won't be doing any action items tonight. I'd like to thank you all for coming tonight and hope you have a great evening. And don't forget the Diamond Jubilee on Saturday. Is there?